This conference will now be recorded.
So my screen is visible to everyone, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
So yesterday we have seen that how to install VirtualBox and CentOS. So I can quickly go through the process once again, okay, for the people who are all new here. So there is a software, how you can get the software, this VirtualBox. You need to open Google and you need to search for VirtualBox. You'll get to know, you'll go to the home page of VirtualBox. It will come like this, and then you can go to downloads, and Windows host you can download from here. It will download. Okay, so this Windows host will work for who are all using Windows. If somebody is using Linux, you can download it from here, Linux distribution, and inside that which distribution you wanted to use, you can download it from here. So this is the one software you are required to download. If you have any other alternate than this VirtualBox, which is VMware, VMware's workstation, or any other QEMU, or any other software, any virtualization software is okay. So this is the one software you are required to download, and double click and click just next. It will install. This is for personal use, not for commercial use here as of now. So you can install, it's freeware, you can download and install for your personal use. Now coming back to CentOS installation. So how you are going to reach here? You need to open Google, search for CentOS server download. After that, need to click on this link, download CentOS. Then click on x86_64. That's 64-bit you need it. Click on the first links. These are all the mirrors. So from any mirror you can download, but I'm going to go on first link. From here you are required to download this file, CentOS 7x86.64-dvd2009.iso. Okay, so this is 4.4 GB. So you need to download these two things. Now after downloading, how to install? So this you will install by double clicking on it. Okay, so let me delete this first. Delete all files. Okay, so whenever you install this VirtualBox, you will have this menu in first. So it means like you don't have any virtual machines here if nothing is coming in the left side. After that, you are required to click on new, then name it here CentOS. Let's say I'm giving a name CentOS 2. So it's wrongly chosen IBM OS, which need to be get corrected. Linux, and then redhat 64-bit. It's coming from the redhat version 64-bit. So after that, you need to click next. This is the RAM. You are required to give at least 1 GB or maybe more than that, depending on your availability of RAM. So I'm giving 2 GB here. You may give 1 GB as well. That's not a problem. But you should not exhaust your host memory itself. Host memory means your desktop or laptop memory itself. This is my desktop or laptop memory. It's showing currently 8 GB, and I should not exhaust. So I just given 2 GB here. After that, create a virtual hard disk. Now creating, I'm trying to create a VDI only. So these are all the different type of images which virtualization software supports. So I'm going to click on VDI. Let's go ahead with VDI. Then dynamically allocation. Then 8 GB I'm going to give by default. Let's create. So this is going to create a virtual machine. Virtual means it's not real machine. It's not a hardware machine, and machine means like it has everything. It has most of your like a laptop which is here with you, which does have a processor, which does have a motherboard. You can see that base memory 2 GB RAM. It has all these bootable disks. What is the chipset size? What is the pointing device? And there are several other interrupts. Peripherals are here. Processor. How many processor you wanted to give here? What is the execution capacity you wanted to give? You wanted to VT, you can't enable here. Anyways, that's not, you're not gonna use it here. So PA you wanted to enable or not, that's you can get it from here. Anyway, we don't need this as well. So let it leave by default whatever it's asking for. Nested paging is required to be enabled. After that, in a laptop, you will have display, you will have storage, you will have audio, networks, serial port, USB. Additional to that, we have shared folder and user interface as well. So this is done. Creation of a machine is done virtually. Now, if you will start, what you will see? We have started. Why it's coming now? Yep. So when a new system you start, you will see that no bootable medium found system halted. It means you don't have any bootable medium. So you are required to insert a bootable medium, either a DVD or a hard disk, anything from where it can boot. So let me go back to setting of this virtual machine and storage, and this is the drive where I will insert CentOS 7 bootable medium, and this is live CD or DVD, and I'll press OK. So this CentOS 7, you might need to point it out like this. You need to go here, you need to search, choose a disk file, and from there, I have downloaded in downloads, and then I need to select this, and then it will come back here. You can select this live CD or DVD and then press OK, and then go back here, and then let's start this virtual machine again. Reset. After resetting, you will be able to see that this screen is coming. So let me zoom this. Okay, from here I should be able to see. So this is the screen which you will be able to see, and in that, through scroll up, sorry, not scroll up key and down key, you will be able to select which one you wanted to select. So I have selected the first one where it's highlighting most of the white lines. So it means this is the selected one. I'll press enter and it will go further. So currently it's booting from CD or DVD. It's not using your hard disk, existing hard disk. So what we are doing right now is we are going to install the operating system with the help of DVD into hard disk, which we have created here for 8 GB. while creating the virtual machine. How you can see that? It's 8 GB. Go to settings, storage. This is the, when you select the CentOS 2 VDI, it will show virtual size is 8 GB, actual size is 2 MB. So 2 MB means currently data has been written only for 2 MB, but actually it can be extended up to 8 GB because we have selected dynamic allocation. So it's started. Let's start the installation. So after continuing, it has several menus. Localization, date and time. I can select India here and let it sync on its own. Then keyboard, let it be language support, let it be installation sources is going to be our DVD, so let it be software selection. Okay, so yesterday I have skipped this part. Now I can explain this part. What is software selection and what is software destination? These two parts I can explain, and then further we can go ahead. So software selection. Software selection means, let's say you have selected, uh, you wanted to install something, but you don't want to select individual package for that. So the meaning of that is these are all individual packages. These are not even individual. Actually, when I select debugging tool, it comes along with several debugging tools. So it's going to install several debugging tools. It's going to install several development libraries, several development tools. So here it's like this is one section, and inside that one section we have been given several subsections to click, and based on our requirement we can install or we can leave it as of now. So this is minimal installation, basic functionality. It will get installed along with the server. If you don't want this, you want a compute node, let's say if you want to uh, do some cloud work on your server, then you should go for this, which you can see that all these things are there, cloud related stuff. And it's not like after choosing basic you cannot do any of these. After choosing basic, if you know which package you need for cloud computing or for cloud node or for your work, whatever you need, you can install any packages. So you have to go with at least basic functionality. After that, on the top of that, you can install any packages, whatever you want, but you should know what you wanted to do. Infrastructure server, let's say if you want to set up a network infrastructure or an infrastructure for a company where you will require so many things like FTP server, file sharing server, email server, directory client, debugging tools, DNS name server, backup server. So there will be several servers. You can see that file storage server, CISF, Samba, NFS, ISKC, all those things is required. So if you select this, you can select this. Everything comes by default after the installation. You need not to install any explicit package for this. But if you have not done this at this point of time, no problem. After logging into the system, you can install all these packages by running the command. Similarly, next, file and printer sharing, web server. Let's say if you want to host a basic web server, you can choose this. Virtualization host is means, let's say if you want to use your server as a virtualization environment, then you can use this. Like you wanted to virtualize your host itself. So for that case, you can use this and you can install several virtualization tools here. You can see that virtualization platforms. So most probably it's going to install QEMU, and virtualization means Word libraries and all. It's going to install for Linux. Server with GUI. So it will install server, but it will come along with the GUI. Genome desktop, KDE Plasma desktop. These are all two desktop famous variants, Genome and KDE, which comes along with most of the operating system, most of the Linux operating system. So you can remember which GUI uh, version has been used in most of the Linux is Genome and KDE. Or another name of this is um, Display Manager. Which Display Manager CentOS you have installed with? So you can say that I've installed Genome as a desktop manager, or KDE as a desktop manager, or graphics user manager, GUI manager, anything you can say, but you need to remember the name. You have installed Genome or KDE. So it's like different look and feel with Genome, different look and feel with KDE. But internally, everything is going to be the same. You will get the same software, you will get the same terminal, and everything is going to be the same. So here, development creative workstation. If you want something to do with the development, you can install this. So these are all the various set of packages predefined. You can click, you can install. But as of now, we are going to go with minimal installation. We'll install this. Now next is installation destination. Destination means where you want to install. So we want to install this software or our operating system in this virtual box. Sorry, not virtual box. In this virtual hard disk. So, and there are first method is called automatic configuring partition, and this is another one is I will configure partition. So I will go here. I will tell I will configure partition. It means I want to partition the hard disk according to my requirement. The speed which I am going, is it okay, or you guys want me to slow down or fast? How it is? Anybody can say. I'm
Okay,
not going
just
to
please
name
share, no
someone.
problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So, partition. Automatic configure partition, it's pretty much easy. You need not to do anything. You just select and done. Your job is done. That's all. But what is happening inside this? We'll get to know here. I have clicked, I will configure partition. And as soon as I press done, it will ask me to do the partition. Let's say it asked me to do the partition. In that, I will go select standard partition. In that, I will press add. I will give the mount point and desired capacity. Mount point is a point. Okay, let me come back here. So in Windows, what do you have? So let's say left side you have Windows. In Windows, you after installing your let's say this is your CD drive. You have connected your CD drive, and this is your hard disk space. So through CD, you have installed everything in hard disk. After installing, you will see that you have C drive, D drive. In C drive, you will have several folders, which is like you can say that one is user, and then another you can say that program files, another you can say the system, Windows 32, several things you will have. So all these files came in C drive. So it's like one partition only in your hard disk, which is going to store all the information. User information, you know what user folder does. User will have all the user information. Let's say you have two users, so all two users will go inside this folder, and all home directory and all, it's going to be get created here in user. So here everything is going to be get created in program files. So everything whatever you are doing here, it's going to be reside only in C drive, and C drive is one partition out of your disk. Okay, this is C drive, I can say. This is D drive, I can say. Now coming back to Linux, this is your Windows, this is your Linux. So Linux provide a capability that we are having a CD, we are going to install operating system in hard disk. We have this hard disk. It has a capability to install most of your work or most of your distributed work in different directories, and those different directories would have been formatted in different partitions. Let's say here whatever we are seeing here as a mount point, here whatever we're seeing is there here as a mount point, here slash, uh, please remember this, whenever we say slash, it's we call it as a root of all the directories. So top level directories here is root, and when I say slash root, it means root is a folder. So there are two things, let me clarify here. Slash in Linux, it's top directory, and we call it as root, and then slash root, it's home folder of root user. Okay, so don't get confused with slash root and then slash. When I say slash root, obviously you need to understand that I'm talking about the home folder of root user. Okay, and when I'm saying only root directory, it means like root slash, it you can say it's root only. So some places I may call this as a root, or I may call this as a slash. So don't get confused with that. Okay, so now here we have root, here we have slash boot, here we have slash home, slash var, swap, BIOS boot. So we'll not talk about this BIOS boot. I will talk about currently slash boot, slash home, slash var, swap, and slash. So this is the top level directory. So in any Linux distribution, if you are going to format, you will have you will have two options, either to do manually partition or automatic partition. So most of the time you may end up in manual doing partition. So in manual doing partition, so the prerequisite for you is to create root. Either you create any partition or not, you have to create root. So in Windows, what we call it as a C drive is going to be here treated as slash. So the meaning of that is everything whatever you have seen. Yeah, so whatever you have seen here in left side, C drive, user, program file system, all this is going to be in one directory, one drive, one partition is C drive. So C drive means here is slash. So the name itself, we don't name it here as C drive, D drive, E drive. We just name it as slash. Everything, all folders are going to be by default below the slash. So first of all, this is the requirement in any system. You have to be must. This is must. Without this, you cannot install any any Linux operating system. So this is required. So let's say you are keeping this as 7 GB. Add mount point. And after adding mount point, we need to define what is the format type. So XFS, let it be XFS. We'll see what is XFS, and we'll see later that what other partition types are. If you want to encrypt your disk, you can give, but here we don't need encryption as of now. So we don't need this. If you want to name it at some label, you can name it as some name. And this is SDA1. You are able to see this. This SDA1, okay, let me move this a little bit here. Okay, so SDA, you are able to see this. This SDA means here, first of all, SDA here. SDA means whatever the disk we have got of total 8 GB space is going to be named in Linux as SDA. So whatever partition we have made is going to be named as the root partition, whatever we have made is going to be named as SDA1. After that, this is the naming convention which is followed by Linux. After that, these are all folders which comes by default if you create or not, but you have a capability to create different boot folder in different partition itself. So let's say I'm going to create boot and I'm going to create 500 MB. Add mount point. You can see that SDA2. One disk 8 GB has been partitioned in two partition. One is SDA1, one is SDA2. SDA1 is going to hold, sorry. SDA2 is going to hold all your data, and whatever is in your boot folder is going to be held by SDA1. So it's like separate partition itself you are going to divide. So we have a capability to divide these folders in different partition: home, var, swap, and then slash, and then slash boot. So anyways, we need swap. We don't need boot as of now. So we are going to delete this. We need slash and then we need swap. What is swap? I will explain it. So let's create swap, and we can leave this desired capacity to use the remaining space. So if we leave this and click add mount point, it's going to take whatever the remaining space is here. Okay. So in some operating system, you have to give minimum of 2 partition, root and swap. Then only you can install Linux, any Linux I'm talking about. And some Linux does now some Linux has started supporting only root. You can give only root and you will be able to install Linux. Okay, now coming, what is swap? Swap is a space. Here you have a hard disk. Okay, out of this hard disk only, this, let's say this is the area from where we are taking swap. So swap is a partition. Let's say this is a swap partition, and this swap partition we are going to give to this operating system. We are going to give this swap partition to operating system. So what is the use of this swap? You have RAM, let's say we have given 2 GB RAM, correct here. So if 2 GB RAM is flooded with your data, it's all flooded, all the data has been written, and you still want to run your application. but you don't have RAM. So what happens in Windows? It will slow down your system because you don't have capacity to run more data. You don't have capacity to load more data on your CPU, sorry, on your RAM. So what happens in Linux is, if it is flooded and if you still want to load some data, some application, what it will do is it will offload the data which is not in use to swap, and it will free this memory so that you can use this memory for new application. And whenever you are trying to access this data which has been offloaded from the CPU, so from the RAM to swap, it will once again load from here to swap, and before, sorry, from swap to RAM, and before loading to RAM it has to once again swap out another area from RAM to swap. So it has to free some area from here and then it can load this area, uh, whatever the area which has already been swapped out, it can load it here again and it can get executed on the CPU. So it's like whenever you need, based on your need, in case if it's flooded with your data, you don't have RAM, based on your need, it can pump out the data from your RAM to swap and from swap to RAM. So basically the use, when you, in ideal case you won't see the use because your system may not be that much flooded with a RAM on data, sorry, with the data on RAM. So you may not see any swap is getting utilized, but yeah, sometime in future, if you have server and you see that many people are utilizing the server maximum and the RAM is not getting freed, then your swap data automatically comes into the play and it's start getting utilized. This is what the use of swap here. And some system force you to create swap. So some system may not force you to create swap, but it may gives you the warning that if you don't create, you are going to affect your system performance. So it's advisable to create root and then swap. And the size of swap could be double of the RAM. Whatever the RAM size is, let's say if you have 2 GB RAM, you can give 4 GB of swap. That is the generic what to say generic storage capacity which we can define for swap. But here we have given just 1 GB because we are using in virtualized environment, and that's also it's good, no issues, because we know that we are not going to utilize this as of now. Operating system will not utilize this. So here we have slash, I mean root and then swap. After this we'll click on done. So what are all steps it's going to perform? Here we have all the steps. If we cancel it here, nothing has been committed. So what all partition we have did, it has not been committed to the disk. What is the meaning of it? It means it has not been written to the disk. If I cancel here the installation itself, whatever is still in the disk is going to be intact. There is no change at all. But if I proceed done, and if I proceed accept changes, then it's going to write down all the format, all the things, all the steps onto the disk, and there is no back from there. So it has formatted now. After that, if I begin installation, it's going to begin the installation. After that, we are required to create root password. Root is a user which by default comes. By default, that user will be get created in any of the Linux operating system. And I'm creating one extra user here as a test, and I'm giving a password just one character. That's why it's complaining the password is too short. You will have to press done twice to confirm it. So I'm pressing done twice to confirm it. Now you can see that it's installing glibc. So here the meaning of this is it has to install 296 packages and after that it is installed 34, 36, 37. It has installed. So this is what the progress you can see here. Okay, it's not showing any progress. No progress. Anyways, in another operating system, I will be able to see what all things is getting installed. It's not showing. Maybe there might be some other shortcut keys to display what all things it's installing. Okay, so these are all the by default things which we have selected and it's getting installed. This 296 packages may vary if you are going to select anything else than the minimal installation. Let's say if I select the Geo server with GUI, in that case, it may go up to 1400 packages or maybe 1200 packages. So it has to install, and based on that installation, based on that package installation, number of packages, it's going to take some more time or less time. So you can see that how quickly it's getting installed, and maybe in couple of minutes it will be done. Your server is ready to work. And yesterday's whatever session we have gone through, I will upload the video as well. And after uploading the video, you means who are all new, you can go ahead, look at the video. I have explained about three options as well, like how I haven't explained that how we can do, but what all three options are present to install the Linux. One we can use, um, one we can use like you can remove your Windows and install Linux. So your Linux is going to be the whole and sole operating system in your desktop. Another method you can use is you can install Linux and Windows side by side, and you can use one operating system at a time whenever you want. Third method is you can use Windows. On the top of that, you can install this VirtualBox or any virtualization software, and on the top of that virtualization software, you can install any operating system. So now we are installing we have installed this virtualization software, VirtualBox, and on the top of that, we are installing CentOS. So we have opted for third method. So that has been explained in previous lecture, and I will upload that on YouTube, or we'll see. I will upload and I will send the link in group. So okay, when it finishes, after that it asks me to reboot the system. So let's see how it looks. So this was the yesterday's system. I have simply saved the state. Now it's restoring the state yesterday's. So in virtual machine parallelly, you can install n number of operating system and you can run parallelly whatever you want. You can see that here two instances are running. One installation is still going on, one has already been installed from yesterday's instance. But why the display is not coming? I need to reboot then. Reset this. Let's see if our operating system is still in the good state or not. No, I need to. Okay, you may face this issue that after installing your operating system, you are able to see this again. So why this is coming? Because your disk is selected here, optical disk. You have selected the disk, and it's trying to boot from this. So you need to deselect and then restart it. If you have correctly installed your operating system, definitely it will show here like this. So after this, when this process finishes, it will ask us to reboot. I need to click reboot, and then this screen will come, whatever we have seen here. This is called splash screen or playmouth screen. This application named as playmouth actually. So you can call that whatever the bar was going on as a playmouth screen. I need to give username, root, password slash. I have given the password as slash, so that's what I'm giving. So now our server is ready to work. Now we'll talk about some of the basics command. Just give me 2 minutes till then this finishes. I'm back, so it's taking a bit more time, so let's leave it. We have this server. So we'll try to execute some of the basics command. So ls is going to list all files in the directory, you know that. Cd is going to change the directory. cd and a space. I need to give the directory name. So we know that root, this slash is a top level directory, and from here itself every directory comes. So in Windows you might be doing like cd space c drive, but here we do cd space slash. And let's say if I want to list all the things, then ls. So these are all the by default directories in Linux. You can see here. Here you can see that boot is here. Boot folder has been created. Previously, if we would have given boot to create separate, in that case also boot would have been created in a separate partition. Since we have not given, boot has came here inside the root directory itself. You can give home also in a separate directory. I will explain why or what is the requirement behind this, why this requirement came to create a separate partition itself for boot, for home, for var, all those things. I'll come to that point after some point of time. So cd ls, we are done, and then cd space home. Let's say if I'm doing home, and if I'm giving ls, it will show me the home folder, sorry, the user's home folder, which are all present here, or which are all, for which are all users we have created the directories. So there can be some users who does not have the home directory. There can be users who does have the home directory. So you cannot say that test is saying so test is the only user present in this Linux system. No, that's not true. Test is showing, it means test is present as a user, but even as this is also not 100% true. Test is or was present as a user in this system, because there is a possibility that some person can come and delete just a test user but leave this folder. Okay, so there is a command cd space dot slash is denoting the same folder. Cd, you know, it's change directory. Dot slash means denoting the same folder. And let's say if I'm saying dot slash, it means denoting the previous folder than that. Okay, so I'll come back to dot, but before that, pwd is a command for present working directory. When I see pwd, it shows me the slash home directory we are into. We are into slash home directory. Let's say if I go and test, and then I will do pwd, it will show slash home slash test. We are into slash home slash test. And this thing is called as prompt, command prompt, where this is username through which you have logged in, root, at the rate localhost is the host name or your system name, host name, localhost dot local domain. So localhost is this name which is getting displayed here, and this is the directory name. This is the directory name in which you are currently. So we have logged in through root. The host name of this system is localhost, and we are into currently in a directory called test. So prompt says these information. If you want, you can edit the prompt according to your requirement. That you can do is like ps1 equals to, you can give testing like this space, and if I hit enter, this prompt is going to get changed in this prompt. I will not do now, I'll do that when I'm about to restart the system. Okay, so we are into pwd, we are into this folder. Now if I do cd space dot dot slash, it means I'm trying to change my directory one step back. So one step back directory is home. If I do this, it will change our directory from test to home. We have changed it. Now check for pwd. You can see that the directory has been changed from home, from test to home. So that is what the meaning of cd space dot slash is the current directory, and cd space dot dot slash is previous directory. You can see that. cd pwd we are done, ls done, dir ls done, and mkdir is, so mkdir is for creating the directory. Mkdir, let's say we are going to create downloads. We see ls downloads has been created. Now we can go to downloads. So yes, you might be able to see that if I'm just writing d, and then all the name is coming on its own, and I'm pressing enter. So how this is happening? I know that in this directory I have only one downloads. I have only one folder which starts from D, or I have only one file which starts from D. So what I will do, I will type cd or anything, whatever command you want, and if you want to type the name, you just need to type the first character D, capital D, and then press tab. It will take remaining on its own. If I press tab once, if this whatever I have pressed D character, capital D character, if there is something unique, either file name or folder present in this test directory, it will show the name. So it shows the downloads directory. Let's say if we have two downloads, okay, let me create another one, downloads 1, downgrades. So we have three folder: downgrade, downloads, downloads 1. So DOWN is coming common, till DOWN is coming common for all of it. So what it will do is, when I will press cd space D, and if I press tab, it will reach till N, and then it will stop there itself. It doesn't know which to auto complete. Either it has to complete grade, or it has to auto complete loads, or it has to auto complete loads 1. It doesn't know. So let me press tab. You can see that it came to down and it's paused there itself. So because after that where to go it doesn't know. So let's say if I give R, so here from here R is unique and R doesn't exist here also it doesn't exist. So if I press tab, it will take grade, sorry, G. After down, G is the first character. It has taken this. And let's say if I'm pressing L and if I'm pressing tab, it will stop till here S. It doesn't know either I'm talking about this downloads or I'm talking about downloads 1. And if I press 2 3 time tabs, it will show what all options are available. You can see that here also. Down is there. If I press 2 3 time tabs, actually 2 times. So when I press 2 time tabs, it's going to show me downgrade, downloads, downloads 1. These 3 options are available. Whatever you want to choose, you can choose. Downloads and then press enter. Another command is clear, to clear your screen. Another command is IP space A, is to check the IP address of your system. LO is localhost, ENP0S3 is Ethernet, your LAN. If you have Wi-Fi, it may come different interface. And there is a possibility that if you have different Linux, you may see different interface name. There may be possibility in CentOS itself, you may see different name of the interface. So this interface name or this Ethernet name, Ethernet card name could be anything. You need to identify what is the name, and accordingly you need to give the command for that. So let's say this base machine for me, this is also a Linux machine on which I have installed the VirtualBox. So this is Ubuntu. So I have opened terminal in Ubuntu also. I've pressed IP space A. You can see that here it's showing ETS0. I have another interface, bridged interface here, which is available. So it's showing another interface separately, but LO is the one which by default comes for all the operating system. I'm saying all the operating system. It means for Windows also there is a network host called localhost that comes. So for Linux also it is there, and ETH0 is Ethernet. So this name can be different for operating system to operating system, or distribution to distribution, or even the same operating system also it can be different. So this is the command to get the IP address of your system. And let's say if I want, we don't see any IP address here. I can see the MAC address and the broadcast address. So if I want to get an IP address from DHCP server, which is running on this Ubuntu server, then I need to give dhclient -v and then this interface name enp03 enp0s3. It's going to request for an IP address and it's going to get. So it has got 10.02.15. Now let me see IP space A. We can see that now it's showing the IP address 10.0.2.15. Previously it was not showing here. You can see that enp0s3, it's not showing any IP address because it has not been assigned any IP address. So sometimes it happens that you turn on the system and you don't have IP address. So you are required to get the IP address by two methods, either using dynamic DHCP IP address, or you need to manually enter the IP address in a file. That we'll see in future how to do that. So this is IP address, how to see IP address, and how to get to know about IP, how to set IP address through DHCP. What more I can show is top command, top. When you write top and when you press enter, it's going to show this information. Anybody remember that in Windows you have a task manager where you see all the process running, and then what is memory, how much CPU they are taking, all the information, it comes in a very nice GUI manner. So here it's the similar thing, but it doesn't come in GUI, it's everything is like text only. Yeah, one more information I wanted to say, that please be comfortable with this black and white screen because your life is going to be like this. I mean, don't take it literally. My purpose of saying here is like, whenever you're going to work in most of the Linux system, you are going to work with this black and white screen only. So black and white screen is like terminal most of the time, or if you don't have GUI, then this is the only terminal you will have. So having said that, this is the top command. Top command gives you first line of the top command says that your system is up since 19 minutes, and this is the time it shows currently. System time, one user has been logged in, and this is a load average of your CPUs. 92 tasks are there, only one is running, 91 is sleeping, 0 stopped, 0 down zombies. We'll get to know what is this stopped and zombies. Percentage CPUs are 0.0, it's not utilized anywhere at all. 03 sys, I'm not sure what is this. I don't know what is this. NIS value, ID also I don't know, W also I don't know. I need to know the abbreviation what it says actually. Then only I'll be able to explain it. So here KB mem, this is explaining about the RAM. This is the RAM available. Sorry, this is the total RAM for this system, and this is the RAM. It's getting free currently, and this is used. Total buffer cache is available. This one cache is available, or this is the buffered memory. Maybe this is the utilized memory. I can say that. And this is a swap 839676 whatever we have given, and this is the free. You can say it's total used is 0. So total available memory is, it might be coming this plus this actually. So system is considering, system is taking this swap also as a RAM memory, and you can see that the total RAM memory is showing this. But when it's get utilized, when this RAM is getting full, then it will start utilizing this memory also. This is about this tab. Now here you can see that PID. PID is nothing but a process ID. Process ID is a number which has been given by the Linux operating system to a particular process. Whenever it originates from its parent, it's given a number, and the top level parent is systemd, and the PID number for that is 1. In some system you will see that the systemd is denoted as init. Let me see in Ubuntu what it says. Okay, here also it says systemd, but in some system you will be able to see that it's named as Ubuntu. Sorry, it's named as init. Okay, so you can see that here there are several processes are running, and the CPU is also getting utilized 4%, because on this only virtual machine is running. You can see all these process names: VirtualBox, VM, and Xorg, Genome Cell. It's all running. So this is the top command, and PID is process ID. User is which user is running. PR is priority. We'll talk about this later. NI is NIS value. We'll talk about this later. VIRT means virtualized resource which is getting used. RES is, that is what the RAM it's getting used. SHRS means this is the memory which has been shared from this application maybe to another application. S is sleeping. Percent CPU is, it's using the percentage of CPU. Percent memory is how much percentage of memory it's using. Time means how much time it's up since your system is started. So, or maybe uh, what is the time it has been up from? That's what it's saying. And command is, what is the command has been used to run this particular process. I will correct myself in terms of time. Okay, I'll check and then I'll correct it once again. I will not say anything now. What is this time plus is? Okay, so this is about top command. So all this information you can see, and in interview you can be asked any information, any piece of information, that what is average load, what is PID number, what is user, what is priority, what is niche value, how you can check the uptime of the system. So you need to tell that uptime is this one of this system. So through top command you can check. And there is another command called ps also. ps will also give you psaux will also give you the root, PID number, several other information also. So let's say if you are trying to type something and which has gone up, you can see that psaux we are typing and it has gone up somewhere. But the main issue here is you will not be able to scroll up because you don't have mouse access. I mean, mouse doesn't work here in this terminal, and you don't have any option to scroll up. So how to see what has information gone up? You will not be able to see the information has gone up at all. So how to manage that? To see that, you need to give pipe and then more. This is the command pipe. This key you will be able to find out just before the enter, which you might not have used at all. So there are several keys which you might wonder that what is the use case of this in Windows. You may not have used it, but in Linux you are going to use all of your keys. So this key is present just above the enter key, and you need to press this with shift and more. It means like whatever command you are running, the output of this is going to be get input of more. And what more command does? More command shows the input in one page and it asks user input to go ahead on the second page. So we'll see that now. So you can see that this is the first page of output of psaux. It gave us this command, and after that more is taking care of that whatever the output the psaux has given. Now it's more job of more command which is showing us all this information. So you can see that this is user, this is tab is PID, this tab is percent CPU, percent memory, VSZ, RSS, TTY, start, time, command. Okay, so all this information is showing. Now if I press enter, it will show further information. This is the work is getting done by more. You can see that I'm keep on pressing enter. It's showing me all this information. So now it's done. After this information finishes. So more was running with the input of psaux. So here we combine two command actually, and then we are running. So this you will be able to see frequently that I'm using pipe. We call it this as a pipe. So this is one thing. This is one command. Psaux stop. Okay, cat command. Cat command is to see the content of a file. So for seeing the content, I need to write down. Okay, I cannot write. I can skip that also. Var log dmessage. So this is the log file actually, which I'm trying to display here. Var log dmessage. If I press enter, cat will display. I don't want that. Cat will display all the things. Cat will display all the dmessage content on this terminal. You can see that this it's gone. It's all gone. It's displayed. So cat command is to display the content of a file. I'm going to clear again. Now coming to editor. In Linux, what is editor? So editor is present several editor in Linux, but by default VI editor comes along with the operating system. You can have VI, you can have Nano, you can have Vim also, VIM, and there are several other editors also. Editors is to edit a file. Let's say if I want to create a file, first file .txt, even though if I don't give extension, it works. Vi space first file, if I'm going to create it, it opens me a window where I need to type, this is my first file. After that, I will save and close. And if I press ls, it shows me that this is the first file. Now, if I want to see the content of first file, I will write the cat command, and it shows that the content of my file. So how to write content in this, how to write anything inside a file or any editor, let's see. Vi space first, we'll be able to open this file. After opening, you don't see anything here. It just shows first file, one line which has 25 column. This one character is going to be get treated as one column. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 was the last one. So it has 25 columns in it. So 25 column, or you can say 25 character actually. So let's leave it. Now what is the next step to enter? If you try to type, you will not be able to type. Okay, I'm pressing A. Let's see. Sorry, it has gone into insert mode. L. I'm pressing L actually. I'm pressing M, but it's not typing. So to type, I need to go in insert mode. To type something, I need to go in insert mode. After, first of all, when you open this VI editor, it goes into the command mode. I have opened this VI editor. So how to open VI editor? VI editor, VI, and then a file name. I pressed enter. After that, it gives me the content of it, and it is into the command mode. This is first, it's going into the command mode, and after, from command mode, if I want to go into insert mode, I need to press I. I is a shortcut. I is a key to go into the insert mode. I have pressed I. Now you can see that it's in insert mode. And after pressing I, you can move your cursor anywhere, and whatever you wanted to type, you can type. After typing, if I want to save and exit, what I need to do? I need to come out of this insert mode. So how to do that? I need to press escape key. After pressing escape key, it will go away. It means I am outside the insert mode right now. Let me press escape key. So after pressing escape key, I am outside of the command mode. You can see that. After that, I wanted to write the changes and exit it. There may be some cases you don't want to write. So how to do that? First, you need to press colon. W is for write, Q is for
And
exit.
column W. Sir, you can put WQ, sir. WQ.
Sorry.
You can save that WQ, sir.
Yes.
WQ.
Yes. W and Q.
Okay, sir.
You think anything else can be there? Okay. So let's proceed further. So colon WQ. W is for write, Q is for exit. When I When I have pressed here, you will be able to see that WQ below here at the bottom, left bottom. And if I press enter, it will write and exit. You can see that 2 line 45 character written. You can see that. Let's say if I'm opening again and I'm trying to edit this line, third line, I've gone into insert mode and then I'm trying to, this is third line, I have typed, but I don't want to save this file. I just want to exit. So for that, I will press Q and enter. Then vEditor identified that no write since last changes. So I have made some changes, but there is no write. It means it is trying to warn us that there is no, the content has not been written to the disk. Either if you want to exit, I need to add exclamation mark here to override. So I need to add colon, Q, and then exclamation mark. This exclamation you mark, you can see shift 1. And if you press enter, it will exit from the window via editor, and then you will be able to see that again. We have written third line, but without saving, we have exited. You can see that it doesn't have the third line. Without saving, we have exited. So this is about vi command. Next is grep command. Grep command is to grep some of the word, like we will give some pattern. Grep command has to search that pattern from this file. I mean, will give the pattern and the file name obviously, and it has to search that pattern whether that's present or not. So grep and that pattern, let's say if I'm giving this, it has to search this pattern, and in which file, this is the file name. You can see that it find out and it prints the line. It prints the whole line wherever this is present, wherever this is present. Okay, let me try to find out file. I am trying to find out the line text file. It's only present in first line, so it has printed this line only. This can be used in another way also. Cat first and then pipe grep file. So what it is doing is cat is going to display all the content of this file. It has 2 line, and out of these 2 line, this output is going to be input of this one, and from input of grep, we are trying to extract the file, this character we are trying to extract. So that's what the command we have given, and this is output. We can see that grep output is here and the output of this command is also here, so both looks same. Okay, so this is the basic commands. Basic commands can be several more. There's no defined set of basics command actually. So as of now, this is the basics command. I'm giving you guys, and maybe in near future, whenever, definitely there are several other commands which we will explore. And if you see that some of the commands which we see frequently, it means that's a basic command you need to know. So you need to note down most of the commands and you need to execute and remember that. So the only key of success here is practice. If you practice, you will know more. You will encounter several problems and you will know more. And after getting to know more, you will remember that information. And whenever it has been asked in interview, you will be able to tell during the interview. Okay, Control C is pressed whenever you see this character, a cap and C. It means it's Control C. I'm pressing Control C. So some people do say that, sir, they are not coming out of something, and for me it's came out because I have pressed Control C. So I'm running a command. Let's say I'm running this command, ping localhost, and it's keep on running. It's keep on running. Even though if you press enter, any key, nothing is going to happen. It's keep on coming like that. If you leave, it will start coming like that again. Some people say the screenshot and send me that, sir, this is not going away. How to give it? So you need to look at the videos whether it has this character or not. Before coming to this, you can see that this is Control C character is there. So it means I have pressed Control C here, and that is why it's exited. After exiting, it's giving the summary of whatever it has done. So that is Control C. Now, how to restart the system or how to shut down the system? So restart, you can use command reboot. That's rebooting the computer. This menu is called grub menu. We'll talk about this later in detail what it is. We have login screen. We have logged in. Shutdown, for shutdown command is shutdown -h now. It halts the system and shut down immediately. So this is a command to shut down your system immediately. It shuts down the system. Okay, we have another thing open. You can see that after finishing the installation, it gives us the reboot. We need to reboot the system. That's it. This is the previous operating system where we were installing. Now let's minimize. We were working in CentOS 1. So let's start this again. Okay, login. There are two more commands. Init 0 is to shut down the system. Init 6 is to restart the system. And there is one more thing. Control Alt Del is to restart the system, Linux system. Where is the keyboard input? Let's say if I'm sending Control Alt Del to this Linux machine, it will restart. Any Linux machine, if you hit Control Alt Del, it will restart the system. Init 0 is to shut down the system. Init 6 is again to restart the system. These are all different commands for doing the same work. So let's say if you want to short this, okay, ls have ls can come up with several arguments. ls hyphen al is going to list all the information. All the information means like these are all the files or folders. This is the date and time system on which it has been lastly modified. This is the size of those files and folders. This is the group which it belongs to. This is the user who has created it. Mm, I think this is the user and this is the owner. And this is inode number. No, this is not inode number. I need to think what it is. Mm, I forgot that. What is that? Okay, I will get to know what is this information. And before that, this is showing that this is directory, this is link, this is directory link. And if this is dash, it means if D is dash like this, it means it's a file. Let me show you how it looks. You can see that dot is a directory. Dot means current folder. Dot means a previous directory. It means it's a directory. Bash logout, bash profile, bash rc. It's all our files. So that is why there is no D. And in downloads also we have created, correct? You can see that this is file. First file we have created, it's a file. It's not a directory, and that's why we don't have D. Now there are three division in this permission. Whatever the first column is showing to you is a permission column. There are three division in this. RWX, you can see RWX, RWX it can be, and third is also RWX. So RWX, RWX, RWX. The first RWX is for user. User will have the permission. Then second is RWX is the another, I mean, this user, root user belongs to root group. So let's say if you have any another user which belongs to root group, they will also have the permission. So first column, first three bit shows for the user had RWX is actually read, write, execute permission. So RWX is read, write, execute. So it means the first RWX is user will have read, write, execute permission. Group will have read, write, execute permission, and others will have read, write, execute permission. This is what the three things shows. Okay, let me change the permission so that I can show you. Now you can see that read write x, read write x, read write x, because I have changed the permission. Previously it was read write x, read and execute, read and execute, no write. So another person will never have anything to do in this. It cannot, no other user cannot write in this folder. No other user, no any user of the same group also does have permission to write into this folder. But now, since you see that in downloads, anybody can come and write it up in downloads. So I have changed it using ch mode. We'll see that maybe tomorrow. What is ch mode? What is 777 and how to deal with it? Okay. Yep. So I think this is it for now. Hmm. Okay. Yep. This is it for now. Anybody has any doubt in this? If you want to ask anything, so far whatever we have covered, you can ask.
No, sir.
So nobody has any doubt, or only one person doesn't have doubt. Ganesh, Aniket, Hemant, Om, Aishwarya, Sheshu, Rafi, Mahendra, Gauda, Bhargav.
So what is the
Yes,
dash
sir.
stand for? The dash.
Dash is, it means that you don't have permission.
Okay, 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 sir.
Okay, you don't have permission for that particular bit. So let's say read, write, execute. If you have dash in place of W, it means you don't have write permission.
Sir,
Yes,
when
any other
will get
question?
this video in YouTube, sir?
After 1 or 2 hours.
Okay, okay, sir.
Ganesh has asked about systemctl reboot. That also can be an option. I haven't tried.
My question also is that one only, sir.
I haven't tried this. I'm not. Please be on mute, man.
Hello, sir. I have one question. Sir, are you there?
Am I audible here now?
Yes,
sir.
sir, you are
Yes, sir.
audible.
Yeah, thank
Sir,
you.
my question is dot slash denoting the same folder. What does
Correct.
dot slash represent?
Previous folder.
Okay, through this folder.
Previous folder, yes.
Okay, sir.
Let me, you can see that. PWT, we are into, currently we are in home and test, slash home slash test. I will do dot dot slash. It will take us to one step back, that is in home folder. PWT, you
Yes, sir.
can see that.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
System serial reboot. Okay, that is also working. I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me. But since it takes lots of text to type, my frequent restart used to be init 6. That is what I use as a restart. Anybody has any other doubts?
Sir, actually, I have Unix environment, so I think the codes are almost same.
Almost same means.
That means whatever code, like the command line arguments are all same in the Unix as well.
Yes, but
Hello?
at some point of time it may or may differ.
Okay, okay, sir. Sir, I guess it will get installed on my system, CentOS.
So your base system is CentOS, still is the CentOS.
No, sir, my base system is Unix, Mac OS.
Okay, macOS, then yeah, you can install. For that VirtualBox, let me share it again. OS X host, you can install this.
Okay, sir.
So your system support .dmg file, correct?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah. So you can install this.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else is having any other doubts? You can ask.